Hey everyone, it's Sean from Crafted Elements, and in this very short video we're going to be looking at our line of compact trim router table plates, which are basically large acrylic plates that you can mount your compact trim / palm router to and create a router table. You can create one like this, which is kind of mounted to the side of your workbench pretty easily. Super handy for working with things like router templates, for example this wine caddy that I made on this. Along with a flush trim bit. You could have a standalone unit like this that can come on and off your workbench, or you can even get really fancy and you can take these plates and actually recess them into your workbench or your tabletop to make them flush with your top. So we're going to get into all three methods here. I'm not going to get really exhaustive in this video because essentially you're just building boxes to mount these plates on, but I want to show you just how cool they can be if you want to have a compact router table in your shop. Now again, these router base plates as well as our router templates are available at craftelements.com if you want to see if we have one for your trim router. All right, without further ado, let's get to work. Okay, so I have here some pre-cut wood. This is your standard 5.5 inch, like a 1x6 stock. In this case, it's poplar. You can use pine, you can use walnut, oak, whatever. Just get yourself a 1x6 by 6 foot or 8 foot board and you cut it up into these pieces. So I have here two 8 by 5.5 inch pieces. Again, they're 3/4 inches thick. I've got a 10.5 by 5.5 and I've got a 10.5 by 2. And this is going to allow me, these four pieces are going to allow me to build a frame to mount on the side of a workbench for one of these router plates. The other option is really just scrap wood to make a box that has a bottom if you want to build a tabletop standalone movable mini router table, which is probably what most people are going to do, to be honest, because it's something you can move out of the way. And like I said a little bit earlier, the other option is to recess it into your tabletop, kind of like I have my Craig unit here, which is made for full-size routers and is a adjustable, like wrench operated thing that moves it up and down. It's obviously a much more expensive option for full-size routers, not trim routers. Before I get building those boxes, I want to look at the actual router plates that we offer themselves. They're basically 12 by 8. It's technically like 11 7/8 by 7 7/8, just so we can get them on the sheets that we use in our laser. But essentially what you're going to be having is a full plate like this with a specific hole pattern depending on your router brand. So we've got these for DeWalt and Rigid and Ryobi and Milwaukee and Bosch and God, what else do we have? Like, we have everything. Any popular router brand that's a mainstream router brand, trim router, we've probably got a plate for. So if you want to get one of these plates, again, just go over to craftelements.com, search up your router, and you can find one that fits your router. Now you'll see that this is a solid plate, and this entire thing gets mounted to the frame that you're building. Now the other option we have is something called our swap base, and you're probably looking like, okay, that's not really a router table base, and why is there nothing in the center of it? Well, this is kind of cool because it comes with the acrylic piece as well as that half-inch Baltic birch base, and that creates a lip, and that lip is designed to accommodate these guys. These are our I think 9.5 or 9.25 by 6 inch dual handle router plates, again, that are available for almost every trim router you could possibly think of. I've got one of them here free, and you can see the same deal. They've got their pre-cut holes specific to your router. But the deal is here that when your router is mounted to this and you're using it to say, you know, do pocketing or whatever handheld work pieces you're working on, maybe you're doing some stencil work or some template work, and then you want to have a functional router table but don't want to have a dedicated router or dedicated trim router for that, that's where this comes in. You're going to build your table with these two pieces, and then you're just going to come and drop your plate in and it becomes a router table base. So you can then put your flush trim bit or whatever you want to put in there and use it as a router table. And then when you're done, pop it right out and have your hands-free router again. So it's a very, very cool option. It is our swap base and it's compatible with any of our two-handled trim router bases. Now building boxes is really not difficult, so I'm not going to walk you through this. To be honest, you can use my measurements and my dimensions or make your own. It's very, very simple to build a box. If you don't know how to build a box, I'm going to make the assumption you're probably not going to have a router or need for a router table. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this part of the video. You can watch me build these boxes in super fast speed. I only wish I could work that fast. And then we'll mount our router plates to them and we'll continue from there. All right, got our two boxes. Now, if you had a hard time following along, it was pretty much simple. I glued them, I tacked them with my brad nailer just to keep them together. With this one, gluing and tacking it is probably sufficient, but then I went ahead and pre-drilled some holes and countersunk those holes, and then used some number 8 1.5 inch construction screws to put it all together, basically to make sure that these boxes are not going to fail. All right, so they both have the same top footprint, which again is about 12 by 8 or 11 and 7/8 by 7 7/8. So all you really need to care about is that number when you're kind of measuring for your own boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and take my DeWalt router here. And really simple. You can see what I've done with that measurement is I made sure that we had 9 or 10 inches here, because most of these routers are about 9 inches. If you've got a battery operated one, they can be a little 9.5 inches. So if you've got 10 inches clear, you're good. You want to be able to have enough adjustment space to move that router up and down and move the bit up and down. So the key that I'd recommend when you're building a standalone box is give it a floor. Okay, it might be like, well, you probably don't need that, but you really do. You want to be able to clamp it down. You want to mount it to your workbench and clamp it to the side of your workbench, because if you try to router something and push it along, this whole box is going to get pushed, right? So you want to have a base on it, something you can clamp down or screw down or whatever, okay? So that's words of advice here. Now I'm going to go ahead and just line those guys up. And again, you can take 1 inch or 1 1/4 inch or 1.5, whatever kind of screws you have, if they're sufficiently long to go through this 1/2 inch acrylic panel, and go from there. All right, super simple, 3-sided box with a base on it. And again, the base is to allow me to clamp it like this to the side of my workbench so it's not sliding around when I want to use it. All right, instant router table. Now, let's look at the side workbench mounted version. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to mount our swappable base to it, and we'll mount it to our workbench. Now the difference with our swappable base is, of course, you've got that 1/2 inch Baltic birch piece that has to go down first to act as your lip to support your router. So we're going to go ahead and put that down first. But other than that, it's the same process for screwing it down. And in this case, you're going to want to use slightly longer screws because you're going through roughly 1 inch of material. Now I built it less way with that small piece because I still want to be able to get under to turn my router on and off. That's why this isn't a full side. So when we drop our router in there, you'll have a little bit of control to reach under and make adjustments. And really it's as easy as taking this over to our workbench and mounting it. So I've already put this little filler piece in here because this workbench has an overhang. And obviously you need a flat surface to mount this to. So it's not really part of the system, obviously, it's just a piece to make my bench flush. So I can mount this bad boy to it. And I would probably line it up. I would get maybe a level or a ruler or something and make sure it's flat. Ideally, it should be flush with the top of your tabletop here. So if you've got longer pieces, that they slide across your tabletop as well. All right. Got a frame, it's on our workbench. So again, if you've got one of our 2-handled router bases for trim routers like this guy, give you precision control over your trim router for like carving and stencil work and even like pocketing routers, bowls and trays and things like that. You want to switch to your router table, maybe you want to use a flush trim bit to cut some templates. Take it, you drop it in, install your bit, you go to work, and the same thing would work with this base attached to a freestanding standalone base. Drop it in, go to work. All right, so that explains that. Let's take a quick look at using these router base plates and actually embedding them or recessing them into our workbench. I'm over here in our FAR building, just to show you what I mean. This is actually one of our processing tables for our CNC machines that are over here. This is, in this case, a custom-made router place that we made here for just this table. But all we're doing is we're pocketing out the first 3/8 of an inch and leaving a border around here, a lip around here that will act as a support for our router base, and then we're going to drop it in. So to actually get this done, we need, the easiest way to get it done rather, is to use a template, and you can easily make a template, which I'm going to show you now, attach it to your table, and then use a pocketing bit, or like a bowl bit, so to speak, to get rid of all that material, and then you can drop your base in. All right, it's a super simple process. What we're going to do is we're just going to make a frame, and that frame is going to act as our template. I find it easiest to use like scrap 1/4 inch plywood, and you'll see here it's really easy. We're going to butt it up here, and we're going to either glue it together or hot glue it together or staple it together, however you want to do it. So I've got some 1/2" brad nails loaded in here. Okay, so we can pop this guy out, make sure you don't flex that template, and then that is, I know it's kind of crude, but that is our template. What we're gonna do now, or theoretically what we would do, is glue this down to our table or screw it down wherever, make sure that it does not move, and then grab a router with a pocketing bit, such as this guy. I would recommend one that has a 1/4 inch diameter total, because the radius on these is 0.125 or 1/8 of an inch. So effectively a 1/4 inch bit will mimic that rounded edge perfectly. So that 1/4 inch bit in your router with the bearing on the bottom here, you're gonna run it across your wood template that you've made, and that's going to core out the surface of your tabletop or workbench or whatever. And you wanna core out enough, in this case 3/8, that this will drop in and sit flush. That's it. So in summary, if you're looking to build a compact trim router table for your trim palm compact router, then we here at Crafted Elements will have a router tabletop base for you to do that with. Again, we've got a variety of bases with different hole patterns depending on your router brand. And then we've got our swappable base with like this guy that you can use with our sold separately 2-handle router bases to have an effective swappable handheld and then fixed router table. So if you want to get your hands on one of these router bases or any of our other trim router accessories or any of our 300 plus router templates, we've got a lot of stuff for routers. If you're a woodworker and you've got a router, craftedelements.com is definitely something you'd want to check out. All right, guys, if you have any questions, obviously leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And to get your own, again, craftedelements.com. Thanks for watching. See you later.